Hi there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy. I have a really cute card for you today. If you don't know, I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I like to show you card tutorials here on Facebook, and then I post my Facebook onto YouTube. So whether you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching on YouTube, first of all, thank you so much for being here. But what I want to show you first is my card today was a make and take for a demonstrator meeting. And so I'm going to show you, it was a swap, right? So we have all the other cards that the other people made. I want to share those with you first, and then I'll show you my make and take, and then I'm going to turn my make and take into a Christmas card. So let me show you first the cards, and I hope I remember whose card is who. I'm kind of bad at remembering things. So I know this one was Janet's. Look how pretty this is. And Janet even said that usually you want to keep your words simple, so she made a really small place to write your greeting and a beautiful scenery, I guess, on the inside for you to look at. But this was Janet's card, and look how she layered those really pretty woven golden leaves and then topped it with a little butterfly. I love that part of it. So this, and then these are the postage dies. I don't think that's what they're called. They went with the lavender. Awful, I should know all the names, but I don't. So you could find them on the online store and see which ones they are. But look how cute her card is. Or really, I shouldn't say cute, it's really pretty. Because the theme of our swap was sympathy, anniversary, or thinking of you, something along that line. So then this was Chris's card. Look how pretty. Can you see? Oh yeah, that glimmer on there. That glimmer adds a lot of like wow. And she, I guess you'd call this 3-step stamp this with the hexagon. I think that's what the stamp set is called. So she stamped the outline, then she stamped the words, and then she stamped these pretty little floral wingedings is what I call them. So this was Chris's card. Look how pretty that one is. And this is the designer series paper called, no, something lace. You might have to help me on that one too. But beautiful card. All the cards were really good this time. And then we had a distant stamper, or distant swapper, I should say, Phoebe. Phoebe wasn't there, but she mailed us all her swaps. And look how pretty that one is with those leaves. And this is the card and envelope pack. I can't remember what it's called, but so she used that on her card, and then she layered it up in here. Now, it didn't go through the mail very nicely, but you can see how pretty Phoebe's card is. I love the silver, just a little bit of touch of class to her card using the veins of the leaf with the silver foil paper. And then there's some vellum back here that makes it even, I mean, just, it's a really pretty card. So that was Phoebe's card. Let's keep going. This was Lynn's card. There we go. Now, Lynn even commented and said this designer series paper, if you're looking for it, is on the clearance rack. But look how she took that designer series paper and added the embossing, the dry embossing, and how pretty that card is. Lots of bling and foil on that one. So I thought that was a really pretty card. And she did go with the happy anniversary rather than the sympathy or thinking of you. So there you go. And then this is Bev's card. Now Bev even printed out all the instructions so we could make this, because it's a fancy fold. It folds like this. Look how pretty that card is. And then she gave us a few different greetings that you could put on the top of your card to finish it off. So beautiful card, Bev, sorry. Love the quiet. It's just a really pretty elegant card too. So like I said, that was Bev's card. And then Terry, who is our trusted leader, I will call her. She's the one that organizes this meeting. She included a couple tags too, or different sentiments she could put on her card. But look how pretty. It's simple, but yet it's really pretty and elegant. And I think that would be a great sympathy card too. So thank you, Terry. They're all, like I said, really pretty. And then this was Linda. Now, Linda Bettinger does videos on YouTube, so you can find her with, and I always mess up the name of her YouTube, Ink in, oh well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Linda. I'll put the link to her blog below, or her or her YouTube channel below, so you could find it. But look how pretty she colored with colored pencils that flower there. And then just added some ribbon with, and the baker, no, not baker's twine, what's that? Thread, linen thread is on the back of the ribbon that shows through. So just really pretty card ideas that I got with this swap with demonstrators. And then my make and take, And a make and take means I took everything there and they made my card at the event, was this quilted star like this. I thought that turned out really pretty too. I didn't put anything on the inside just because I didn't know, you know, sympathy cards are difficult when you know who you're going to send it to and stuff. It all depends. So we left the inside blank on that one. But I use this, I think the same paper. No, this is the Country Inn paper. But anyway, so my make and take, I went hog wild and I cut way too many packets. So I have several packets left. So if you want one of my make and takes, no strings attached, I'm not selling them. I'd just like to give them to you as the people that support my channel and view my videos. So if you want a packet to make this card, and it has all of the cardstock in there, you'd have to stamp your greeting, and I didn't include the gems. So if you want to add gems to your card, you'd have to add those out of your stash. But all of it, all the pieces and parts will be in my packet. Now, so you know what stamp set I used. I used the what are these called here? The Unbounded Love dies. I use this little one right here, which my dies are a mess. I need to stop creating and clean up and do some organizing. But anyway, I use this little die here. And then for the sympathy, I use the Keeping Tabs stamp set. This little stamp fits perfect in there, and so does the Happy Birthday and the Hello Friends. I'm not sure if Happy Holidays fits in there, but there's several out of this stamp set that would fit in that little thing there. Or, like I said, this die came from the Unbounded Love, so you could use the Unbounded Love to make your make and take. And now, like I said, there's no strings attached. All you'd have to do is, if you're here on Facebook, send me a message and say you want one and give me your address. I promise I won't use your address for anything else. Like I said, there's no strings attached. It's just kind of a thank you for watching and putting up with me and my crazy videos that I do here on Facebook and on YouTube. Okay, so then I'm going to take this card and I'm going to turn it into a Christmas card, and that's what I'm going to make for you today. And it is, I think, very simple, but it's a really pretty card. Okay, so before I go on, you can see here, I want you to know there's a seasonal sale Stampin' Up! Is having November 13th through the 15th, and it's all the items out of the annual catalog. So they're saying 20% off of bundles, 20% off of designer series paper, 10% off of cardstock, and 10% off of inks. So if your list of I wants is really long, this would be a good time, November 13th through the 15th, to place an order and get that stuff at a discount. All right, enough of that talk. Let's go ahead and make our card. I can't decide. I don't think I'm going to show you the card. I think we're going to just make it. So I'm going to use for my card the Peaceful Season bundle. So the stamp set and the dies. And I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think it's a really, like I said, a really pretty card. I have a bunch of card pieces here, or card stock I should say here. And it probably looks like a mess, but we'll clean it up as we go. We're going to start with just a basic card, real red card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it here at 4 1/4. I'm going to set that aside. We don't need that right now. In fact, we're going to cut our paper first of a designer series paper, and then I have two pieces the exact same size, 5 1/4 by 4, and this is for the inside and for the front of our card. I have some scraps of white that we'll use. I have some scraps of red. I even have some scraps of white glimmer paper. And now if you're thinking, does Stampin' Up! Sell white glimmer paper? They do. It's in a pack with Berry Burst and Old Olive. And then they have, in the 12 by 12, they have the white glimmer paper in there too. I have a square here of, and I should have a square. Here's my other square. I have a square. This is 3 1/4 of real red. This is 3 inches of basic white. You'll need that too. Okay, but let's cut. Oh, and then I have some adhesive sheets. We're going to use that to put together our greeting. And then I have 2 packs here. Really, they're both open, and I think we can get some scraps out of this. This is that Take a Bow paper that is so popular because it is just full of happy Christmas colors, I think is the best way to say. And we need 1 strip that is, I have other stuff stuck to this. That shouldn't be there. I have 1 strip. We need 1 strip that's 2 inches by 5 1/4. So let's say, I think this one's going to work right here. So let me see if it is 2 inches. Yes, it is. So let's just cut that down to 5 1/4. And I probably should have looked at the other side. Maybe we'll use the other side first. But this card, like I said, is great for just using scraps. Yeah, I'm going to keep it on this side. I'm going to use this side. Now, I am going to use a retired Stampin' Up! Punch to put a little banner here at the bottom. I know. I always tell practice makes perfect. If I would practice banners, I would probably be better at it. But I'm not very good at banners. I need to just make myself cut more of them because my banners always turn out crooked, and then I recut them, and then I make my paper smaller. So I'm going to just cheat and use my retired punch here, and now I have a nice even cheater banner. I promise I will practice my banners so I don't have to use, well, but when you have the punch, why bother? It works this way. Okay, so there's my banner is ready. Now I need 4 strips of designer series paper that are 6 inches long and a 1/2 inch wide. So I think I'm going to use, is this one 6 inches? Let's see if they're, yeah, so I know, and I know it's at least a 1/2 inch. So we need 6, oh look, this one might already be a 1/2 inch. Yes, he is, so we'll use that one. So there's 1, 2, what about this one? Yep, 3, and then we need 1 more. See if I have another 1/2 inch strip in here. Like I said, I've been using this paper quite a bit. These are all too short. We already have that one. We have this one. Oh, look, we could use the red on that one. That might work. And just use the other side. This is the other side of this striped. Let's just do that. Let's just use those 4 pieces right there. And I'll quickly cut them down to a 1/2 inch. And then we'll be ready to make the card. So get my paper trimmer. And I'm going to, because this is so close to 1/2 inch, I'm going to start at the bottom. Can you see that of my cardstock? Make sure it doesn't move and cut up. And then that way it just cuts it nice and you don't get any jagged edges or anything. Okay, so there's 1. And then we'll cut this one at 1/2 inch. And I'm using my measurements over here at the right side just because it's easier to hold your paper over here while you're slicing over there. 2. This one was already a 1/2 inch. And then we're going to make this one a 1/2 inch. There we go. And now we have our 4 strips, like I said, that are 1/2 inch by 6 inch. Now, don't worry about getting the measurements now because I'll have them on my gallery, becreativewithkathy.com. You could go there or even follow the link below if you're on YouTube, and you can find them, all my measurements there too. Okay, so let's bring in that 3-inch square, and we're going to start with this piece. Now, I watched another demonstrator make this card. In fact, I watched several, so I don't even know who to give credit. And there's so many quilted cards out there that I'm not going to, but they drew a line from point to point. Now, I'm a lazy stamper, and I'm not going to draw the line. I'm going to try to find, oh man, and all of my, all of my things are almost empty. I might have to go get a refill for my tape. But in one corner, I'm going to put just a small amount of tape there. Excuse me, I'm going to take my first strip, and I'm going to just line it up corner to corner like that, and then just hold it down right there. So I have it corner to corner, and there's still some adhesive here. So I'm going to take another strip and just set those 2 together, making sure that they're flush, I guess is the right word. They're still corner to corner. They might move a little bit. You got to hold them down with your finger like that. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to cover up the corners anyway later to make that star effect. But now I have those. Then I'm going to do the same thing here. Put a little bit of tape. I might make it with what tape I have left. And then this one, we're going to weave in and out. So I'm going to just go under. I'll do the top one because I think it's easier. And then there again, I'm going to line it up as best I can, corner to corner. And there we go, we have that one now. Now we need to weave this one the opposite way. So I'm going to lift this one up and put this one back here behind this red one, right? Everybody knows how to weave? I think we all do. If not, that's how you do it. And then line that one up. And then I have them, well, There we go. And make sure it's stuck down here. And now I have them all weaved and look like that. Now I'm going to just take some tape, lift these up, and put some tape down here, and make sure they're nice and adhered. And then we'll do the same thing to these two. Kind of push them together so they're side by side, and now we have that weave so it looks like that. Right? Easy, easy. Okay, then make sure they're all, I got these all stuck down, these are all stuck down. Okay, then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to just take my paper snips here, and I'm going to cut those corners off. So it's back to a 3-inch square with all those pieces of Designer Series paper, adhered to my 3-inch square. And then just like that, now we have again that 3-inch square with our woven piece on top of it. Okay, then I took and I cut, whoop, that's the tags for the greeting. We're not going to use those on those. These are part of that make and take, which will be in your packet. So if you want to make and take, be sure and let me know. But I'm going to take 4. These are 3/4 of an inch. Ooh, and you know, it just dawned on me in my, on my gallery right now that says they're 1 inch. I'll have to go fix that. So if you've already visited my gallery, give me some time after the video to go fix. These are 3/4 of an inch square. Okay, we're going to take these with just a little bit of liquid glue. And I'm going to glue these to each of the corner. This is how now it's starting to look like that star. There. Making sure it's up there in the corner. And now it's given that star effect. I think it's a really pretty, kind of sneaky by piecing these cards in there, or these little pieces of paper in there to make it look like that star rather than doing a bunch of extra cutting. So now it looks like that. And really, when I look at it here, it does look really good, but it still looks like pieces of paper glued to other pieces of paper. It doesn't quite look like a quilt. So we're going to fix that. Now I want to do all my die cutting at once. So let me do a couple other things before we finish up with the card. I'm going to take my glimmer paper here and my adhesive sheets, and I just have my scraps here. Adhesive sheet, it comes with 12 sheets that are 6 by 6. I'm going to first cut this down, excuse me, to about 1.5 inches. And that's going to give me plenty of room to die cut my greeting on there. And then I'm going to take my adhesive sheets and I'm going to remove the backing here. Oh, wrong side. And just lay my glimmer paper on there. Now I'm not going to remove all the backing. I'm just going to move enough so I can see where to put my glimmer paper on half of it. And then this way it doesn't get your fingers all sticky and you can get it on there straight. Although there's lots of different ways to put the adhesive sheets on your cardstock, but this is how I like to do it, fast and easy. And then I'm going to just cut away. This keeps your scissors from getting too sticky. It's a good way to put that adhesive. So now I've turned my glimmer paper, get rid of my noisy scissors, into like a big sticker. Okay, so I have that piece ready, and then my scrap of real red and my scrap of white. And I'm going to run them through with those dies that I showed you earlier. So out of this pack, the dies that I'm going to use is this little banner here. I'm going to cut that out in white. The Christmas background I'm going to cut out in red. And then the actual fine line Christmas, I'm going to cut out of that glimmer paper like this using my die cut machine. So let's bring that in. And hold on, I have the wrong plate. I had my plates here for the embossing and not necessarily for the die cutting, but it was close and handy. So here's my plates. Let's see if I can lay this on there. Whoops. And then I'll put it onto my machine. This one, we want the fine Christmas on there. And I'm making sure you can see that my adhesive sheet didn't go quite to the end of my glimmer paper, but it'll work just like that. Let's cut this down so I have more room on my cutting mat here. Let's see how big my Christmas needs to be. That's fine right there. We'll just cut this cardstock down so it'll fit on there too. Everything moved. And then we'll just go ahead and cut this down a little bit too. We only need a couple inches to make that little banner or tag or whatever it's called. Okay, now let's do it this way. Now that I have my paper ready, I hope I cut this one big enough now for this one. And I did not. It has to be bigger than 2 inches. I guess I should have measured it like I did my Christmas, but oops. We'll make it 4 inches, and that way for sure we have enough room on there. Look, now he fits. And then our Christmas on this one, and we have all of our little pieces ready to cut. Bring in my machine. Did I not bring the, I didn't, I need one more. Oop. Come on, Kathy. Here's my cutting. My, let's see if you can see. I have my platform, I have my adapter, my bottom plate, and I'll have to go grab, I forgot my top plate. Let me grab that real quick. It's not the one I usually use. This one's warped. Maybe it was over here and I just didn't see it, but it doesn't matter. We'll lay our top plate on there and then we'll run that through the die cut machine. Okay, now before we put our machine away, we're going to take the platform because now we need to take that little square we made, and I'm going to use the 3D eyelet embossing folder. Now I tried to do it with the standard embossing folder, but I think the 3D works best because really you could use any embossing folder for this, but I do suggest that you use the 3D. Let me move this so I can show you how I set it up because I want it to be straight. So Stampin' Up! Has this logo and this line on their folder. You want to make sure that you see the logo and your star so you emboss the right way. I like to take and line it up with that little line down there. Now I know, let me make sure it's straight. My cardstock is going to be straight in there. Okay, bring back the machine. This time I just have my platform and then I'm going to set my folder on there and then I'm going to use plate number 4. And that's what works with 3D embossing folders, and run that through our machine. And then this is what makes it look like it's quilted, and it takes those little papers on the corner and kind of combines them to the paper, so then it doesn't look like you've just glued cardstock to the corners. So then look at how it looks like that. Can you see that embossing on there? Turns out really pretty. Now this one, I got at an angle, not very well. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim that little part away that doesn't look right after I embossed it. And maybe it moved, now I can't find it. This one. Maybe it moved in the embossing machine too, or in the die cut machine, I'm not sure. But now, now it looks really good. Okay, so let's go ahead and get all of our die cut pieces and assemble our card. I'm going to make sure when I take my Christmas out of my glimmer paper that I leave it onto the paper here, and then it's easier to get that little dot of the eye out and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to leave that piece in there. And then our Christmas looks like that. And then our little banner looks like that. Okay, now we have all the little pieces and parts. All we have to do is assemble our card. So I'm going to bring in, first of all, that one of those pieces of basic white. And I'm going to just adhere my banner to that piece. Now when I put this on, I'm going to check the bottom and make sure that I like how it looks down here, and then I can always cut the top off if it's too long. It looks like it's good, so I'm going to line it up this way. And I hope I have it in the center. I should use my grid paper and see. Yep, I think it's good enough. You just lay it down just like that, and then we're going to take this piece and attach it to our card base. Let me get a crisp fold on that score line. And then with our tape, which we're keeping our fingers crossed, has enough in there to finish our card. Lay that on top of there. And already look how bright and festive with all those different red, green, and whites, how cute that looks. Okay, I'm going to add my star on there with some dimensionals. Oh, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to add my star on there just with some liquid glue, because I want to pop up the Christmas and the Merry and make that pop up. So I want this part flat. Although if you like the dimension, you can do whatever you want to your card. Let's see, I think it looks good. That, oop. We're going to put it on here first. There we go. Now look how nice it looks and ready for our card. I thought something was missing. Now I got that 3 1/4 inch layer behind there. We'll lay this onto our card. And I'm going to just eyeball it, make it a little bit above center. Is it straight? There we go. Now it looks pretty straight. We'll say good enough like that. Okay, then with our Christmas, I want to layer this, so I'm going to just peel this off. Gently, carefully. Like that, and then I'm going to just come back and layer it right here onto this red piece. Just kind of putting it back into shape, how it needs to look, and it looks nicely layered. There, and we have our Christmas, and then we need that little dot above the eye. I'm going to use my take a pick tool here and just dig it out of there. And really it's more of a triangle than it is a circle, but it fits perfect right there. Might have to move it a little bit, but now we have the perfect little layered Merry Christmas with just a little bit of bling. Then we turn that over. Now it's plenty big enough that you can put dimensionals on there. I'm going to use the mini dimensionals, but you certainly could just cut your dimensionals in half and layer those on there. Just set a few dimensionals across there and then lay that right there. So you still see that banner behind it, but it's got a little bit of bling. It's really pretty. Now let's take this stamp set, the Peaceful Seasons, and this stamp right here, this Merry stamp right here. Let's see if I can find it in here. Yep, here it is. Set it on the block. I'm going to use Garden Green ink, and that's just another color that's in the Designer Series paper. Pick that up with my block, take my ink, And I'm going to stamp it right here on this little banner. Now, because my stamp is clear, I usually cut the banner first. I think that just makes it a little easier. Hi, Glenda. Thank you for watching. And then I'm going to set, did I get my head in the camera? Oh, well. And just stamp that little Mary right there on the banner. And really the stamp set and the dies, they're very user-friendly, and it's not too hard to get that Mary just where you want it. Now I'm going to take this and just set this about here. I'm going to put it flat on my card. I almost got it all over my fingers. We'll just set that down right here. We might tuck that under our little Christmas. Let's move it where we want it. I think it looks good right about there. And look how pretty that is, right? So now every Christmas card, beside my glimmer paper on here, needs a little bit of bling. I decided that just the basic rhinestones was all it needed. So I'm going to just take and scatter a few of those in different sizes all over my card. And I think I want a little one right up here next to my greeting. Right there. And look how pretty. So now we got to stamp something on the inside. So let's see what we have for inside greetings. Friends and family are a true gift of Christmas. I like that one. Wishing you all the things that warm your heart and lift your spirits, or thinking of you with warm feelings and a wish for all the merriest. I think I'm going to stamp that one on the inside. Let's see if I get the right one. Nope, that's the wrong one. This one. And I'm going to just stamp that in that same garden green ink on the inside. Grab a block here. Ooh, a dirty block. Do you see all that red ink on there? Well, don't look. You don't see all my messes. Okay, I'm going to just stamp this right here. And this way I stamped it in the green ink, and that way on the inside I have that red and white and green in the same colors, kind of bringing the front to the inside of my card. I'll put just a little bit of tape. Because like I said, it almost looks like it's empty, but yay, we made it to the end of my card. I didn't have to refill my ink or my adhesive. And there you go, just like that. We have a really pretty inside, a really pretty front, and that's how I like to make. Glenda makes me laugh because I'm adding bling. I usually add bling, but anyway, the quilted star card. Now, like I said before, I'm going to send you a little reminder here that if you're interested in one of my make and takes or the kits, all you have to do is let me know, and I'll send you one, no strings attached. It'll have everything in there, including the little banner that I cut from the Unbounded Love, so you could stamp your own words on there, and you'll have to add your own bling. But that way, you could make a quilted card too, and use any 3D folder that you have on stock. Alrighty, if you have any questions, be sure and let me know. Excuse me. The measurements and all the supplies that I use are on my gallery, becreativewithkathy.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here next week. Bye, everybody.